Welcome back everybody to Professor Seemo. So by the end of this video, this will be the topology that we are going to create, and hopefully you stick with us till the end, and you'll be able to ping between all networks, PC0 to PC2, PC2 to PC5, and let's get into the video. See you in the video. Alright, so as you have seen in the beginning of the video, how this topology is going to look like. So first we will have our first network. Let's give it a red color. Okay, this is our first network. Let's now give it an address, a network address. Or first let's start with its name. We'll call this network Professor Seemo Office 1 with a network address of 192.168.10.0/24.255.255.255.0. Its default gateway is going to be gateway. We'll have one default gateway, a router. Okay, it will be 192.168.10.1/24 or 255.255.255.0. Alright, just now click escape. You can move it up here. Let's move this one. Okay, now let's go to our devices. We will first use a router, a 2911 router, and we will need a 2960 switch and two PCs, PC1, PC2. This is the Professor Seemo's first office router. Now let's connect them together. Copper a straight through cable between 1 PC0 and switch, another cross straight through cable between PC1 and the switch, and another straight through cable between the switch and the 0 gigabit Ethernet 00 interface. Now let's label everything so we won't forget them later. Okay, so for PC1 we will give it a .2. Click escape to exit the node. .2, and for the second PC we will give it a .3 address. Okay, and for gigabit G00, we'll give it a .1. Now escape. Alright, now let's let's assume we are in a real life scenario. We would be using a console cable. We will use it with PC1 connected with the RS 232 interface port with the console port of the router 0. Alright, now to access the router in real life, we might be using PuTTY, for example, PuTTY, if you were wondering, if you want to check it out. But from Packet Tracer we just go to PC1 or the PC that is connected with the console cable. Go to desktop, go to terminal, make sure the default configuration are set, then click OK, then type no, or just click 3 enters just in case. So the first thing that we should do is go to privileged exec mode, you can just type enable or en, then go to global configuration mode by typing conf t or configure terminal. Alright, now as you have seen, we'll go to G00 interface. We'll give it an IP address of 192.168.10.1 255.255.255.0. Now no shutdown. Alright, now let's go to the first PC1. Let's give it an IP address. Go to IP configuration and static, then choose IPv4 address of 192.168.10.2. Alright, also here is your subnet mask. Don't forget your default gateway, it is .1. Click X. Now PC0 desktop IP configuration, an IP address of .3, as we have mentioned before. .3. It will have the subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. Then a default gateway of .1. Okay, this is the first office of Professor Seemo with 2 PCs in it. Now let's create the second network. Let's give it blue color. Okay, let's move this to the right, and let's choose blue color as I have said, or probably this is something similar to purple color. Okay, anyways, okay, let's give it a name. This would be Professor Seemo home network. Okay, Professor Seemo home network with a network address of 192.168.11.0/24 or 255.255.255.0. And the default gateway, first press escape. Okay, now the default gateway for all our networks is going to be the .1 address. Alright, let's set up the devices again over here. We have PC2, PC3, we have a 2111 router, and we have a switch, and this switch has got switches, a 2960 switch. Alright, assuming, as we have said, we are in a real life scenario, when I go to my home, I would be using the same console cable, as I would remove it from here and take it with me, or probably I might have more than one. Depends on the real life scenario. But for this video's sake, we'll be using different console cables for each network. Alright, so for this network, let's connect everything. We'll use a copper straight through cable again. PC2, the switch, PC3 with the switch, and copper straight through between the switch and the router. Gigabit Ethernet 0, 0 again. Let's label everything again. PC3, sorry, is going to be /3. Alright, PC2 will be .2. Alright, now for the router with 8 gigabit Ethernet 00, is going to be .1. Alright, this is for gigabit Ethernet 00 interface. Alright, now actually let's test the connectivity, the connections between the devices on the first network. You can go to PC1, then go to command prompt. Alright, now type ping. Let's first try pinging the other PC, which is 192.168.10.3. We can see some replies. Now let's ping the router, and we see the replies from the router. There is also this trick, or not a trick, it's a feature actually. In Packet Tracer, go to this file, click on it. This can simulate the pings or ICMP packets. Go to router 0, click on it. You are choosing the source address, then choose the destination address. Here we have PC 0, and as you can see here on the right, it failed. You can just double click again, successful. Why is that? It could be because of ARP protocols and maybe some other problems, but usually it's ARP. Don't worry about that as long as it is working successfully. You can just click delete to remove that scenario. Alright, now let's set up our second network, Professor Seemo's home network. Okay, let's first get a console cable. This time I will be using PC2 again, RS232 port with the router console port. Go to PC2 again, go to desktop, go to terminal, make sure everything is properly set up, click 2, again no, enter 3 times just in case. Now enable, now conf T, now interface G00. Alright, interface G00, we give it an IP address of 192.168.11.1 255.255.255.0. No shutdown. Alright, now we can click this button over here to fast forward. Alright, now let's test connectivity. Let's use this feature again. PC2 to router, in progress failed. Double click again, failed again. Oh, alright, yep. Don't forget to give the PCs their IP addresses, of course. Okay, let's go to PC2, go to IP configuration, 192.168.11.2, and don't forget the default gateway with an address of .1. Alright, now let's go to PC3, desktop, IP configuration, .3, and default gateway with .1. Alright, now fast forward again. Now double click again to repeat the process. Instead of taking the folder and the file and pinging it again, that would take space in the RAM. So just double click, and as you can see, successful. Let's do another one from the router to PC3, in progress failed. Double click again, successful. Now delete. Now let's set up the third local network. Alright, we'll choose a fill color of green. What was the color of the first one? Red, blue, and green. Okay, this one is green, and we will give it an address of first let's give it a name. This will be Professor Seemo Office 2. and it has a network address of 192.12.0/255.255.255.0. And again, as we have said before, the default gateway is .1. Now let's set up the devices again. We have two PCs, PC1, PC4, or the first PC of this network, and we have a router, a 2911 router, and a switch, a 2960 switch. Now let's connect them. Straight through cable PC4 to the switch, straight through cable PC5 to the switch, straight through cable from the switch to router gigabit 00. Let's label it again. This one is going to be .3, and this one is going to be .2. Alright, and the gigabit Ethernet 00 is going to be 00 is going to be .1. Alright, now let's first start, let's connect PC4 or S23 with the console port. Go to PC4 desktop, terminal, okay, no, enable global interface, which is conf-t. Now int g00, give it an IP address of 192.168.12, as we have chosen here, .12.1 255.255.255.0. Now no shut down. Alright, now let's set the IP address of the two PCs. Alright, so here we have 192.168.12.2. Alright, here .1 for the default gateway. Now for PC5 desktop IP .3 .12.1. That's the default gateway. Alright, let's try 192.168.12.1. Alright. Now let's test the connectivity in this network. Let's first try router to PC. Successful. PC5 to the router. Successful again, and one more from PC4 to the router. All successful. Now let's start with the routing between all the networks. Let's move this here in the bottom. We have router 1, gigabit Ethernet 00. Now let's first set up the network between the first two networks. Right. Let's start with the networks of router 0. Okay, go to the terminal. Okay, this is the terminal of the router 0. Enable, go to global configuration mode, configure terminal. Now here type this command, IP route. Now the network address, let's use this would be the destination or the network address of the destination address. Alright, so what we're doing here is we are saying we are telling this router whatever when any address that's going to be part of the destination hosts, like send it through this interface. We'll be using the interface G01. Okay, but before doing that, we first have to set up a connection between interface G0/1 and G0/1 of router 1. Okay, so first let's label it. Here we have a network. We call it an int network. Call it of 1 to home here, and this one will have a network address of 10.10.9.0/24.255.255.255.0. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. Okay. And for the router 0, the interface G01 is going to have an address of .1. Okay, let's use a straight through cable or a crossover cable. I'll be using a crossover cable, the G01 interface with the G01 interface of router 1. Let's label router 1 to G01 dot, I'll give it an address of 2. Okay, here we use the crossover cable because assuming they are the same device. Okay, now let's enable, let's give it the address and remove the shutdown first before doing the IP route. Go to interface G0/1 IP address 10.10.9.1.255.255.255.0. No shutdown. Alright, now go to PC2. This is routers 1 terminal. Enable conft interface G01 IP address 110.10.9.255.255.255.0 and no shutdown. Alright, as you can see, let's test the connectivity between these two routers first. Router 0 and router 1 in progress. Failed. Double click again. Successful. Let's try it vice versa. Router 1 pinging router 0. Successful again. Now let's set up our route. Okay. So type the end command to go to the privileged exec mode, then conft to go to global configuration mode again. Okay. Now type this command: IP route 192.168. Now type the network address of this whole network, which is .11.0.255.255.255.0. Now if this router receives any destination address with this network address, send it via G01 interface. This is what we are doing. Now let's do the same concept with the router 1. Any network address that matches any destination address that matches this network address, or if it is part of this address, send it via the G0/1 interface. Okay, or you can now use the exit command. Okay, to go to the global configuration mode. or wait, no, you can't actually. Type the end command, then conf t. Alright, now IP address 192.168. It was .10, I believe. Yes, .10. .10 .0.255.255.255.0 space G0/1 interface. What did we miss? Oh, IP route, sorry. Alright, IP route 192.168.10.0.255.255. Okay, perfect. Alright, let's try now testing this routing protocol. First, we have the PC0. Let's ping PC0 with the router 1 first. In progress, failed, do it again, successful. Perfect. Now let's try PC2 with the router 0. In progress, failed, do it again, successful. Okay. Now let's try PC0 pinging PC2, successful. That's amazing. PC1 pinging PC3, in progress, failed, do it again, failed, do it again, successful. Do it for 3-4 times. If it didn't work after the 4th time, then something must have went wrong. As you can see, PC3 and PC2 can ping the other network, which means we have successful connection between these two networks. Alright, now let's go to this network. This is the /0/0/0/1. Alright, now we have the connection between these two networks. Alright, let's first create the network between these two routers. We will have network between home to office 2. We'll have a network address of 10.10.11.0/24 or 255.255.255.2.0. By the way, these notes are actually very helpful. They help you, maybe you make some mistake, you just want to configure and troubleshoot everything if something went wrong. Also, if you have learned something new in the video and you are happy about it, leave a like, probably maybe even subscribe to the channel. That would be great, as I will be creating more topology videos. And by the way, there are also programming videos, Python, Java, and math calculus videos if you are interested. A like and a comment of a topic that you would like from me to make would be very great. Okay, let's begin with creating this network. We have a straight through cable between router 1, a gigabit Ethernet 0/2 with gigabit Ethernet 0/1 of this network. Let's label it. Let's label everything again. Oh, I have used a straight through cable. Okay, let me actually continue with the concept of same devices. Crossover cable between router 1 gigabit Ethernet 0/2 and router 2 gigabit Ethernet 0/1. Label them gigabit Ethernet 0/1 gig or G 0/2 .1. Okay, and on this side it is gig 0 or G 0/1 with the .2 address. Okay, now let's set up the network addresses between router 1, the IP addresses of router 1 and router 2. So go to PC2 and then conf t interface g0/2, give it an IP address of 10.10.11.1 255.255.255.0. no shutdown. Alright, let's do the same thing for PC4. Terminal enable conf t IP. Alright, wait. Go to interface g0/1 IP address of 10.10.11. Is it .11? Yep, .11.2.255.255.255.0. No shutdown. Alright, now let's try pinging between these two routers. Router 1 and router 2 in progress. Do it again, successful. Let's do it the other way around. This router with this router, successful. Now let's set up the route between network 01. I mean the router 1, the local area network of the home network, and the network of Professor Seemo Office 2. Okay, first let's go to router 1 interface and go to end. Press the end command. Now conf t IP route 192.168. Also, as you can see, these notes help us remember addresses and other stuff. 255.255.255.0 via the interface G02, as you can see, G02. And yeah, that's it. Okay, now let's go here, PC4 and conf t IP route. But this time actually I will do whenever I get an address of this network, and if I get an address of this network, just send them via the interface G01. IP route 192.168.11.0.255.255.255.0 via the interface G01. And let's do one more, or let's write it from scratch. Do one more, IP route 192.168.10.0.255.255.255.0 G01. Alright, by the way, this is the .10 network. Now first let's also set up this network, the green and the red networks. Routing, go to PC1, go type end, now conf t, now IP route 192.168.12.0. Alright, now 255.255.255.0, and we are using .g01 over here, G01. Alright, now let's try pinging all networks. By the way, you can also check the IP routes using the type end. Go to privileged exec mode, type show IP route. As you can see here, 192.168.11.0. Anything from this address is directly connected via G01. S means static. It means that we have set it up manually, you could say. And we have can also check the routing table of this interface. As you can see, dot 0 is directly connected via the gigabit Ethernet 01, and this other network is connected via gigabit Ethernet 02. Whenever this router receives any destination with this IP, or any host in this IP, I mean, it will just send it via the gigabit Ethernet 0/2. Alright, now let's try pinging first the blue network and the green network. Get the message. First PC3 with the router in progress, failed, do it again, successful. Now PC4 with the router 1 in progress, failed, do it again, successful. Amazing, perfect. Now let's try PC3 with PC4, successful. PC4 with PC3, successful. And now let's try PC5 with PC0 in progress, failed, do it again, in progress, failed again, in failed, successful. Alright, see, do it like 3 times. Now let's try PC1 with PC4 in progress, failed, do it again, in progress, failed, do it again, successful. Alright, because our packets are only 4, so it might take you some time. And we have reached the end of the video, and thank you for reaching till this point of the video. Hopefully you have learned something new. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any specific topology that you want us to cover, any specific topics that you want us to cover, not just in networking, cybersecurity in general, or math, or Java, or Python programming, just leave a comment, and I will assure that I will be covering them in future videos. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.